Brilliant. Let's get going. So we're going to start on the mat today. And we're going to start lying down. Oh, that feels better already, doesn't it? So come to lie yourself down. Just make sure you've got some space around you, she says, with all her gubbins, newspapers and readings and what have you. Oh, let's lie ourselves down. Give your knees a squeeze. Maybe have a little massage around the low back by having a little rock of your knees or a circling of your knees. And then we'll come to lie ourselves down. So you can either stretch your legs out fully, or I'm going to suggest anyone with a back issue or feels tight in the hips, you keep your feet on the floor, walk them a little wider apart, and then your knees can knock together. And just for so get yourself nice and comfy. I always feel I need to kind of settle my shoulder blades towards one another and down my back a little ways. So my chest feels nice and open. Maybe pick up your head and just drop your chin down towards your chest. If anyone finds that their chin is sticking up towards the ceiling, you might just be a little bit more rounded across your upper back. So to remedy that, you can always just pop a rolled up jumper or a little pillow underneath the back of your head, and it just lifts your head up, so it makes it more comfortable for you. Lovely. And we'll just bring the hands to rest on the lower belly today. You can have the thumb and your first finger connected if you want, making a little diamond shape. It's a little hand gesture called Yoni Mudra. Or you can just rest the hands one on top of the other on your lower belly. Closing the eyes. And that area where you're gently resting your hands, your lower belly, is not only your anatomical center, it's also in Qigong said to be our powerhouse. It's got this wonderful name. It's called your Sea of Qi, your Sea of Qi. Qi being energy, prana, we might call it in yoga. But it's our powerhouse. So let's start by almost topping up our tanks for the weeks ahead by taking some nice deep breaths here, some nice belly breaths. Might take a couple of rounds of breath to drop the breath down into your belly, particularly on a cold morning. And particularly when we might be feeling all sorts of things, maybe a little bit anxious, worried. Sometimes the breath then gets a little bit stuck in our chest. So let's just let go of that and release into your belly. Breathing into your hands. And I'm going to start with some words. Some of you might have heard them before. Beautiful words my yoga teacher read in a practice. And I really think they kind of sum up Friday morning, practice ahead, where we're all going to aim to be here now, not to worry too much about whatever the next few weeks will bring. So as you listen to the words, there might be a sentence, a couple of sentences that you can draw a little bit of strength from this morning. So be here now. Be in this moment. Be in this body. Be at ease. Be light. Be grateful. Be with an open heart. Be in this stillness. Be in this space within. Be in love with you. Be in love with this moment. Be here now. Be here now. So happy to be here, happy to be sharing this practice with one another this morning. So as you continue to let that breath drop down into the space beneath your hands, really settling into this present moment. You can perhaps begin to visualize your breath as a wave, with your belly rising on the inhalation and then just dropping back on the exhalation. No effort, no counting, simply awareness. Drawing that breath down into our sea of chi, our center, our powerhouse. We're going to really use the breath this morning. Might be a little bit of shaking as we really bring ourselves into our bodies, out of our heads, which might be doing far too much work at the moment, and really bring ourselves into that sense of feeling embodied. So let's take one more breath, just breathing down into that space beneath your hands, hands resting on the lower belly. And then we'll just change the position of the hands, sliding them up just to the side of the ribs. So the middle fingers are pointing inwards. They might even touch depending on the width of your rib cage there. And as you continue with that easy, rhythmical, wave-like breath, see if you can get perhaps a little sense of breathing outwards now. You might even find that your middle fingers part a little bit as we draw that breath further up, using that outwards expansion, really beginning to open up some space, those little muscles between the ribs, the intercostals, waking up the diaphragm. One more breath there. So it might only be an almost imperceptible move. Lovely. And then last one, we'll just bring the fingertips to rest just on your collarbone. So the elbows are dropping down to the floor. Fingertips just resting just on your collarbones. And see if you can just tune into that rising and falling of your chest now. And again, many of us, this is our default position for breath. So really remembering as we proceed through the practice that we've got two other areas, the outwards expansion and the belly breath. So the chest, the outwards expansion, the belly, all moving, but just focusing on the chest for a couple more breaths. Lovely. And then we'll reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, bring the arms back above the head. Your upper arms might frame your ears, or you might take them out in generous V shape, or even shoulder height if that's more comfortable. And try and breathe now into all of those three areas. Nice deep breaths. Belly, ribs, chest, all moving. Puffing up the chest towards your chin a little bit, maybe a little arching through the back. Let's take one more nice deep breath there. Reaching back through the arms as you draw the breath in. And the back body just softening down onto the floor as you exhale. Lovely. Beautiful. So we're going to keep the arms above the head. If this is too much too soon, then just bring the arms out level with the shoulders. You might want to soften your elbows and just rest one hand on top of the other. If your legs are out straight, outstretched, you're going to bend your knees, bring your heels back in towards you, knees point to the ceiling, and widen your feet towards the outside edges of your mat. Let's take a nice inhale. And as you exhale, knees drop to the right. Nice wide kneed twist. Rolling the head perhaps to look over that left shoulder. Chin dropping down. Relaxing that right buttock. You can always scoop the feet in a little closer or take them wider apart. Lovely. On an inhale, bring the knees, bring the gaze back to center. And exhaling, let's go over to the other side. So as you drop your knees to the left, relaxing your left buttock. Maybe chin rolling to right shoulder. Easy breaths there, just a couple, warming up this morning. And let's roll with the breath. So inhale, the knees point to the ceiling. And as you exhale, tick-tock them to the right, maybe chin to the left. And we just continue now. So every inhale, you bring the knees back to center. And every exhale, you tip them in the opposite direction, head moving away from your knees. For some strange reason, I find it quite satisfying to pivot on my heels here. So you can have a little play with that. So you can really kind of make it your own. You might stay on the inner and outer edge of each foot. I kind of like to point my toes up towards the ceiling. So I'm just rolling across my heel. But hey, that's just me. Oh, so remember you can adjust the arms. And as we do maybe one or two more, you might even begin to push that top hip in the same direction as your knees. So a little scooch of the hip forward. And then a little press of the hips, same direction of the knees. Let's do one more to the right. Take your time, there's no rush. We've got all the time in the world. Let's do one more over to the left. Beautiful. Then we'll point the knees up towards the ceiling and then walk your feet now so they're hip width apart. Heels close to your sit bones. If you've got your elbows bent and the hands resting on top of each other, let's separate the arms, reach the arms back above the head. Let's take a nice inhale. And as you exhale, draw that right knee in towards your chest. Give it a little squeeze. Take a nice inhale. And as you exhale, foot comes to floor, reach both arms all the way back above the head. And again, nice deep breath in, lengthen through the arms. Left knee to chest as you exhale, little squeeze, keeping the shoulders soft. Take an inhale. Exhale, foot to floor, arms reach back, adding on. Take a nice inhale as you elongate the arms. And as you exhale, right knee to chest, maybe lifting head and shoulders this time. Pause as you inhale, first little shaking. And as you exhale, foot to floor, arms reach back. Lovely. Drop the head, drop the shoulders. Take an in breath. Exhaling, left knee to chest. You can lift head and shoulders, nose coming to knee. We'll take an inhale there, shoulders away from ears. And exhale, foot to floor, both arms reaching back. Lovely. We'll take one more inhale. This time as you exhale, both knees squeeze down towards the chest. Pause. Option to stay there or take a nice in breath. And as you exhale, lifting head and shoulders, coming into that tight, tight little ball. So you can keep your hands on your knees or flex the feet quite strongly and reach both arms down alongside you. Hands hover off the floor, palms up, reaching your fingertips beyond your heels. Holding for 5, a little bit of shaking, 4, keep breathing, 3, 2, and 1. Hands to knees, head and shoulders coming down onto the floor. Lovely. Little one to start waking up the legs. So I'm going to bring my arms out level with my shoulders, but you can always hold on around the backs of the legs if that's more comfortable. And we'll take both legs up towards the ceiling. Straight as feels comfortable. Just have a little circle through the feet there, a little playful movement in the ankles. So you can hold behind the legs or bring the arms up level with the shoulders. I'm going to point the toes up towards the ceiling, trying to keep the lower back imprinting on the floor. And as you inhale, take the legs apart, pointing the toes, little inner thigh stretch. Flex the feet, and as you exhale, draw the legs together, heels leading the way. Lovely. Point the toes as you inhale, take the legs apart. Woo, this is fun, isn't it? Exhale, draw the legs together, really working those inner thighs. Lovely, 3 more times. So legs stretch out, lovely. And then squeeze in the heels. This looks gorgeous, guys. This is a funny one to start with, isn't it? But really coming into our bodies. I've lost count, so we're going to do twice more. Squeezing those legs together. Lovely. Last one. Point the toes as you take the legs up nice and wide. And then drawing the heels together. Lovely. Just hold on around the backs of the legs. Bring your heels down towards your bottom. Separate your knees, crossing the ankles. We're going to roll our way up to seated. So you can have a couple of playful rolls along the spine. Obviously, if that doesn't work for you, just roll to one side. I'm going to do one more. Whoop, all the way up to seated. Beautiful. I'm going to sit cross-legged this morning with right shin in front of left, but any issues with hips, you can always just bring the soles of the feet together and come into a nice long frog, or just stretch the legs out in front of you. It really doesn't matter. Let's place one hand on the chest, one hand on the lower belly. It really doesn't matter which. Allow the elbows to drop down, chin dropping gently down towards your chest, but feel an elongation through the spine. And again, nice deep breaths into the space between both hands there. So every time you exhale, can you try and keep that space between your collarbones and your belly button the same, so we're not sinking forwards. Lovely. Trying to keep that sense of length now as you bring your fingertips down to the floor alongside you. And this time as you inhale, palms up, lengthen up through the spine. You can lift your chin. Palms touch, and as you exhale, hands to heart, chin to chest, little pressing of the palms together, waking up through the arms. Inhaling, sweeping both arms up towards the ceiling, growing really tall. Keeping that length as you exhale, hands to heart, chin to chest without the body falling forwards. Lovely, last time. Tuning into that rhythm of your breath, lovely. Exhale as you bring the hands down, beautiful. So just take the arms straight forwards now, palms are together, just level with the chest. And then we'll turn the palms away from you so the back of the hands are facing each other. I'll sit sideways on. I'm going to start to warm up through the spine. So begin to pull your belly button back towards your spine and reach the arms forwards, dropping chin to chest. We're getting a nice rounding through the back. And then sitting up nice and tall, draw the elbows level with the shoulders, making a little cactus with the arms. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Take an inhale. Exhale, round the back, dive forwards. Back of the hands might even touch. Inhale, draw the elbows back, little arching of the back. Maybe you can lift your chin. Exhale as you round the spine. So take that little dive forward. Nice one to warm up through the back, just working with the breath. So every inhale, a little arching of the back. And every exhale, a little rounding. Lovely. Do that a couple more times. So just beginning to enliven through the back and the front of the body. Whoop, diving forwards. Last time. Elbows draw back, heart lifts. And then we get that lovely pulling navel to spine, rounding the back. Beautiful. Coming up to sit nice and tall. Going to interlace the hands. Press the palms up towards the ceiling. You might need to drop your chin to your chest as you bring your hands behind your head. And then lifting your chin up, just allow the weight of the head to be supported in your hands. If that doesn't work for your shoulders, you can always just bring your fingertips to your temples. Let's try and draw the elbows apart. Take a nice inhale. And as you exhale, twist to the right, keeping the elbows still. Take a nice inhale, growing a little taller. And as you exhale, can you find a little bit more rotation through the spine? Lovely. Let's come all the way back through center. And this is the trickiest part of the class. Press the palms up towards the ceiling. Can you change the interlace of your hands now so the other little finger is on top? Your hands will feel really strange now. If that doesn't work, doesn't matter. Chin to chest, hands behind the head. Lifting the chin, draw the elbows back. Take a nice in-breath. Exhale, we'll take that little twist to the left so the elbows stay drawing wide. Take a nice inhale as you lengthen through the spine. And as you exhale, can you twist a little further? Oh, that side feels jammy. We'll come all the way back through center, releasing the hands down alongside you so you can shake the legs out. I'm going to recross them this time, left in front of right, but allowing the legs to come into whatever configuration feels comfortable for you. And we'll plant the right hand down this time, just alongside the hip, pressing into your knuckles, turning that left palm up. Take a nice breath in as you reach up. And as you breathe out, let's come into that first lovely side bend. So you can look up towards the ceiling this morning, really opening through that top armpit, little barrel roll of the chest up, gluing down into that left sit bone as you reach some space into the left side of the body. Lovely. Coming all the way back up through center, changing sides, so left palm down, pressing into your knuckles, right palm lifts on an inhale, stretching across the body as you exhale. So just make sure that your chest isn't folding forwards. So if that's a little bit too much with the arm extended, you can always wrap it around your low back. So that really helps to open the chest without pulling on the shoulder joint there. Beautiful. We'll come all the way back through center. And again, we're going to interlace the hands, a little different this time. Hands come once more behind the head, so you can drop the chin down. And then lifting the chin, keep the spine long. But imagine now you want to squeeze your elbows towards one another. Like you've got a big ball between your elbows. It's a funny one, this one, but it's great for the back body. We're going to start to circle the elbows. So it's just the upper body moving. Keep squeezing the elbows towards one another. And it's a great rinse out for those tight spots around the upper back. So going slowly, it's a funny one, I know. Let's do one more circle in that direction that you're moving and then take it around the other way. So this way might feel a little bit strange. I don't know about you, but I can really feel some movement in my upper back. Oh, just sort of almost underneath my armpits there. Getting a nice stretch. So we'll do one more slow circle, not too fast. You might knock yourself giddy. Beautiful. And then we'll come all the way back through center, reaching the arms up, grow really tall. Hands coming down to the floor. I'm going to roll over my shins to find a kneeling position. But if that doesn't work for you, uncross the legs. Find your way onto all fours. Hands underneath your shoulders. Knees underneath your hips there. So just press into the hands. Make sure the hands are nice and spread. So space between the fingers there. Lovely. Feeling a nice broadening across your upper back. Finding that lovely tabletop position. And then as you inhale, dip your belly, keep pressing into your hands. Maybe lift the chin a little ways as you arch the back. And then exhale, angry cat. Pressing into the hands, spreading the shoulder blades. Roll with the breath now. Inhale. And exhale. Lovely. So lovely rhythmical movement there, just riding the rhythm of your breath. Lovely. And just again, so we can wake up and enliven the body, let's tuck the toes under. So you're really pressing into the balls of the feet, waking up from our foundations, pressing into the balls of the feet. Lovely stretch out for all the fascia, the muscles of the feet there. Lovely. Let's do just once more. Beautiful. And then we're going to find that nice tabletop position. So a nice long spine, just hug your belly button up towards your spine there so we're not collapsing around the front of the body to support the back of the body. Everything stays the same. We're just going to hover the knees off the floor. So we're not going to pike the bottom up, keeping the body nice and long. Might be a little bit of shaking again. That's good. Again, we're just going to hold for 5, 4. Keep squeezing, keep pressing into your hands. 3, 2, and 1. Flatten lower your knees, flatten your feet. Draw your hips back towards your heels. Maybe prop yourself up on your elbows and give the wrists a little bit of a twirl. I told you we were going to come into our bodies, didn't I? Let's find a child pose. But again, nice and active this morning. Coming up onto your fingertips if you can. Allow your forehead to drop towards the floor. Might not get there, that's okay. But just beginning to enliven through the arms now as you press your fingertips forwards and down. Hugging hips back to heels, your knees might be a little wider apart to accommodate some space there. Breath now into the back of the body. Really feeling again a little bit of movement into the side of the body. Beautiful. Flattening the hands, we're going to slide our way back onto all fours. And we'll take both hands over to the left side of the mat. So you can bring your right leg forwards into a low lunge this morning. So knee over ankle. I'm going to sweep the arms up into that lovely lunge. Take a nice inhale. And as you exhale, sweep the arms all the way back. Lovely. Inhale, reaching up. So you're pressing the floor away as you rise up. And as you exhale, sweep the arms back. Someone's just dropped out of the class. Lovely. Just once more. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, release. Lovely. This time we'll reach both arms up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, both hands come down, framing that front foot. Lovely. Going to take a twist to the right. So right arm peels up towards the ceiling. Lovely. Some of you might be able to almost reach that arm back behind you. And those of you who want a little bit more, tuck your left foot under, lifting the knee. Keep the hips low. Keep that left hip, that right hip drawn in. We're not popping it out to the side. Lovely. Beautiful. Look down. Lower the knee. Both hands come down, framing that front foot. Come up onto fingertips. Take an inhale. Flatten your left foot. And as you exhale, draw the hips back. Say good morning to your hamstrings. Let's hold there. So you might have the right foot on the floor and the knee bent. You might want to slide the foot forwards, drawing your toes towards your face. Make sure your bottom hasn't swung over to the left. So square the hips up. Easing into hamstrings. No shaking in that front leg. So just soften it off if you need to. Beautiful. We're going to plant the foot, bending the front knee. Both hands come to the inside of the front foot. We'll step back onto all fours and back into that child pose. Coming up onto fingertips, pressing fingertips forwards and down. Elongating through the sides of the body. Morning, Margaret. It's 9:30 we start, my darling. Slightly different from the other classes. I'm just there to confuse you. Lovely. And then flattening the hands onto all fours. This time hands coming to the right side of the mat. So you can step or help the left foot forwards. Lovely. Again, just lining up the joints. Knee on top of ankle. Ready for that nice lunge. Inhale. Press the floor away as you sweep the arms up. And as you exhale, we sweep the arms. I'm going to reach back behind me a little bit to mobilizing the shoulders. Inhaling, so arms lift, chest lift. Exhale as you release. So just working with the breath this morning. Last time, all the way up. Ooh, Lovely. And releasing. Chest coming forwards. We'll find that lunge, reaching up really tall as you inhale. Hands framing that front foot as you exhale, ready for that twist to the left. So you can keep the gaze low or look up towards the ceiling as you reach that left arm up. So you're turning towards the front knee, that front thigh. Maybe some of you might reach that top arm back if the shoulder is comfortable. And you can tuck your right toes, lifting the knee. And again, just make sure that you've not swung that left hip out to the left if you've come into that slightly higher version. Beautiful. Then lower the back knee. Bring the hands down to frame the front foot, flatten off through that right foot. Let's take a nice inhale on your fingertips. Exhale, glide the hips back towards your heels. Ooh, coming into that little hamstring stretch. So you can keep your foot on the floor in a nice knee bend if that's too much on your hamstrings, or sliding the front heel away from you, pulling the toes towards your face. Take care of what the hips are doing, so square them up rather than letting them swing over to the right. Oh, doesn't that feel glorious this morning? Beautiful. We'll flatten the foot, both hands coming to the inside of that front foot so we can slide the knee back under the hips. This time we'll stay on all fours, hands under shoulders, tucking the toes under. Let's find that nice flat back again. And then we'll hover the knees, coming back to that little hover. If that's too much, keep your knees on the floor. Lovely. And as you inhale, let's straighten the legs, pushing the hips up and back, finding our first downward dog. Lovely. As you exhale, knees hover, coming back to that little kind of semi-kneeling position. Lovely. And inhaling, pushing the floor away, hips up and back. Woo, lovely. Let's do one more. So inhaling, firming up through the belly as the knees just hover. And then we'll find that downward facing dog. Let's start to take that little syncopated pedal out through the feet, bending one knee and then the other, warming up through the legs, finding some space in the hamstrings, stretching out the Achilles as you press the heels, pedal the heels towards the floor. Doesn't matter if they don't touch. And then we'll find that nice downward dog shape, that lovely inverted V shape with the hips. So imagine your arms are in line with the sides of the body as you stretch the hips up and back. You can always bend your knees quite deeply. You can always work from all fours, no problem. So let's shift the weight into that left leg. And as you inhale, let's take the right leg up and back, turning the toes out to the right slightly for a little hip opener. And as you exhale, slowly lower the foot to the floor. Left leg leading this time. Inhale, so the toes turn out slightly as you raise the leg up, weight even through the hands. Exhale as you lower down. Lovely. So this time, bending both knees, sitting back towards your heels, look forwards towards the top of the mat. And as you inhale, step or spring your right foot forwards this time, dropping the back knee. Beautiful. Let's add on. So inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, reach the arms back behind you as you offer the chest forward. Same as before, we're going to add on though. Inhale, reach up. Ooh, reaching for the ceiling. Exhale, so really elongate the arms back, palms facing inwards. Inhale up. So this next time, we're going to exhale, leaning forward so we can interlace the hands behind you. So draw the knuckles towards the wall behind you. Press into that front foot so we're not collapsing the belly on the front thigh. And we've got the option now to tuck the left foot under and lift the back knee. So that's strong. You can always keep the knee down. Lovely. Separate the arms and we'll all reach the arms forwards now. Upper arms alongside the ears. Spread the fingers. A little bit of shaking, that's okay. And then we'll split the arms. Left hand comes to the floor inside of the foot. Right arm reaches up. So we're back in that twist. Back knee might be down. Lovely. A little stronger this time. Beautiful. Looking down, hands frame that front foot. Begin to slide the hips back and slide that right leg all the way up and back into a little three-legged dog. Lovely. And then we'll lower the right foot to the floor. Ready for that left? Oh, ready for the left side. So we're going to bend both knees, sit back towards your heels, take your gaze forwards. And as you inhale, step, spring or help, whoop, that left foot forwards. Lovely, dropping the back knee. You can flatten that back foot, you can keep the toes tucked, whatever works. Ready for that lunge. So inhale, rise up, so push the floor away. Exhale, sweep the arms back so you're really energizing crown of head forwards. Lovely. And again, all the way up. This looks good, guys. Lovely. And exhale. So you're really elongating through the arms. Lovely. So you want to send the little finger edge of the hand up towards the ceiling there. This time, hands interlace behind you. We'll draw the knuckles back so you've got that lovely arrow shape through the body. We're not collapsing, we're pressing the floor away. Beautiful option to stay there, or right foot tucks this time. A little bit of balance challenge. Ooh, can you lift the knee? Stretching the heel back behind you, elongate through the knuckles. And then we'll separate the arms and reach both arms forwards. Upper arms frame the ears, spread the fingers, lovely. And then split the arms. Right hand comes to the floor inside of the foot. Left arm lifts, we're back in that twist. Remember, you can drop the back knee. Beautiful, both hands come down. Ready for that little three-legged dog. So the hips slide back, we slide the left leg all the way up and back. Lifting it up, and then lower the foot to the floor, lovely. So this time, looking forwards, we'll roll the body forwards to planks. You might need to do that little plank dance, walking your feet back or your hands forward so your head is just in front of your hands. Press into your hands. Make sure bottom isn't lifted. Firm up through the belly. A little bit of shaking there, that's okay. Lovely. We'll drop to the knees, flatten the feet, and bring your chest down between your arms. Lovely. And then just rest one hand on top of the other. And turning the head to one side. Just allow your head to rest on your hands there. So a little bit of back work now, a little bit of everything this morning to get us going. Lots of different options here, so any back issues, I'll give you nice options to keep the back safe. Beautiful. So just bringing your forehead down to the floor now as you bring both arms alongside you with the palms down. Sounds a bit funny. Palms down to help anchor us down. So long arms. Now press into your palms, press into the tops of your feet, and slowly lift your head, lift your chest. Little locust variation, so grounding through the front body. Easy with the breath. Hope no one had a big breakfast. Lovely. And then slowly lower yourself down. Turn the head the opposite way. Allow the heels to flop apart and just rest the back of the hands on the floor. Palms up towards the ceiling, so you just feel the shoulders rolling in there. So we're going to add on a little variation. So any back issues, you might want to keep your feet and palms on the floor. We'll draw the heels together. Press the palms down, bring the forehead to the floor. Press into your palms, press into the tops of the feet, lift the chest. So you're keeping the gaze down rather than throwing the head back. Lovely. Option now to lift the legs. So knees are straight. Lifting the top of the hip, pointing the toes, press into the palms of the hand, lovely. So top of the body, bottom of the body lifted, beautiful. And then lower down, turn the head to one side, back of the hands on the floor, palms up towards the ceiling, heels roll apart. So we know what's coming now, don't we? Oh, our last little bit. So remember, you can stay with whatever variation. Keep your feet on the floor, keep the palms on the floor, or last bit, heels draw together, palms down, forehead to floor. Let's lift up the chest. If you wish, lift the legs. So we're trying to lift from the top of the hip, legs are straight. And then last little bit, we lift the arms, turning the palms in, reaching your fingertips back towards your toes. Your balance just on the front of your pelvis there. Fly, my pretties. Can we hold for 5? God, they say no. 4. Lower whenever you need to. 3. Can you lift a little higher? 2. And 1. Make that pillow for your forehead. And this time we'll bend the knees, point the toes up towards the ceiling, and have a little windscreen wiper of your legs from side to side. A little massage across the front of the pelvis there. Oh, that was good this morning, wasn't it? That's got us going. And then we'll lower the legs, bring the hands alongside the shoulders so we can push back onto all fours, finding a downward dog, lifting the hips. And this time we'll take a slow walk forward. So feet coming towards your hands, or you can meet in the middle of the mat, wherever feels comfortable. Bend the knees into that forward fold this morning. You can cradle your elbows. You can add that little sway. If you don't like being in a forward fold this morning, just bring your hands to rest just above your knees. So you're lifting your head higher than your heart if you get a little bit giddy. Beautiful. And if you're swaying like me, keep it nice and slow until you bring the body to stillness now, letting go of your elbows. So you allow the arms just to dangle in front of you. Just making sure that your feet are parallel, toes facing forwards, about hip width apart. I'm going to bend the knees, sit into your heels and begin to sweep the arms forwards, level with the shoulders. So we'll all find ourselves in a chair pose. Lovely. Can we sink a little deeper so weight is in the heels? Nice. And then as you inhale, we'll straighten the legs, press the floor away. And as you exhale, sinking back into that chair pose. Ooh, lovely. So inhaling, straightening the legs. Just adjust the camera there. And as you exhale, sinking down. So just working into those big muscles of the thighs, the quads. Lovely. Inhale. And exhale, knees not knocking in, staying on top of ankles. Once more, inhale. And this time as we exhale, we're going to hold that chair pose. So we'll keep the arms just level with the shoulders this morning. Lovely. Have a quick peep at your knees. Make sure that you're not turning into a baby giraffe with your knees rolling in. Lovely. And then we'll sweep the hands behind you, interlacing the hands. Draw the knuckles back as you inhale. And as you exhale, body folds forwards. You can keep a deep knee bend. Belly draping over thighs, or straighten the legs a little bit. Arms might come up and over. Lovely. Bring the hands onto the lower back. Fingertips finding the floor, the shins, or your thighs. And as you inhale, coming up halfway, it's that lovely flat back. And as you exhale down into that forward fold, generous with a knee bend if you need to. And again, inhaling, fingertips to floor, shins or thighs, so you can lift the chest. Exhale to fold. Beautiful. So last time, coming up halfway, hollowing out through the belly to keep the back safe. This time as you exhale, just allow the arms to dangle in front of you. Keep a softness in the knees as you roll your way up to stand. Beautiful. Lovely. I'll just turn around so I can start to mirror you. Lovely. So we're going to be stepping the right leg back behind us first. So if that doesn't work for you this morning, you can always turn yourself around on your mat so you can see me. We come into a high lunge, but if that doesn't work for you, you can work with your knee down. So doing whatever you need to keep yourself safe. Let's lift and spread the toes for a moment, enlivening through your foundations, and then bring the toes down, trying to keep a little bit of space between each toe. Beautiful. Hands coming to heart, lifting up through the breastbone. Beautiful. Here we go. So let's take a deep knee bend. And as you inhale, sweep both arms all the way up. And as you exhale, forward fold this time. So heart leads the way as we come down over the legs. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Sliding hands up your shins or your thighs or fingertips to the floor. Lift up halfway. And as you exhale, folding down. Lovely. Keep a deep knee bend as you rise up to stand. Arms sweep out to the side, growing really tall. Hands to heart as you exhale, lovely. Adding on, deep knee bend, sweep the arms up. So it's almost like a little mini chair you do at the beginning. Exhaling, hands to heart. Beautiful. And again, inhaling, sweeping up. This time as we exhale, all the way down, back into that forward fold. Heart leading the way. Inhale as you lift up halfway. This time as we exhale, let's take the right leg back. Pause, long stride back, all 10 toes face forwards. Option to drop the back knee or find your way up into a high lunge. Beautiful. So a little dip in the back knee, and then we'll bring both hands to rest on the lower belly, just as we did when we were lying down on the floor. Nice breath in here, breathing into that space beneath your hands. Belly rises as you inhale. And sits down a little deeper as you exhale, sliding the hands up around the rib cage, middle fingers point inwards, breathing outwards now. Legs might be shaking, that's okay. Exhale as you feel the ribs contract. Lovely. Last one, fingertips on your collarbones, elbows release down, breath into the chest. Strong in the legs. Exhale, lovely. Sweeping the arms up. Take a nice deep breath into all of those 3 spaces. Whole diaphragm moving now. Belly, ribs and chest opening. And exhale, lovely. Lowering the arms. I'm going to take a walk around to the long edge of your mat. So all 10 toes facing forwards. You can adjust your feet if they're a little bit too wide apart. Then we'll turn the heels in. Toes just turning out to the side. One hand on each thigh so you can lift up through the chest. And just arranging yourself now so you're not pitching the body forwards. We're coming into a goddess. So the shoulders are on top of the hips, knees squeezed out towards little toes. Lovely. Hands coming to heart, sink a little deeper. Beautiful. As you inhale, straighten the legs, arrow the arms up. And as you exhale, cactus the arms as we did at the beginning. Elbows level with the shoulders, palms face forwards. Straighten the legs, arrow the arms up. Inhale. Hands draw down to the heart this time. Exhale, keep the body nice and upright. Lovely. And again, squeezing into the little toe edge of each foot. Cactus the arms, spread the fingers. Lovely. Active with the arms. Inhaling up. Hands to heart as you exhale, shoulders stay in line with the hips, ready to add on. Inhale, arrow the arms up, turning all 10 toes forwards. As you exhale, deep forward fold, fingertips finding the floor. Again, you can slightly pigeon toe your feet if you need some space for your lower back there. Walk one arm forwards, then the other arm. And imagine now you want to draw your weight back towards your heels, stretching the arms forwards, opening up the armpits towards the floor there. Lovely. Want to elongate through the body. So it's almost like a wide leg downward dog there. Lovely. And then walking the hands back towards you, you're going to turn the body round over that left foot. So facing back the way you came, all 10 toes face forwards. Take a big step forwards, bringing the feet together at the top of the mat. Deep knee bend. As you inhale, rise up with the arms back to where we began. I'll turn to the other side of my mat. Exhale, so it's going to be the left leg moving this time. Inhale, deep knee bend, rise to stand. Let's get the body moving. Exhaling all the way down that lovely descent. Heart leading the way. Lifting up halfway as you inhale. And this time as we exhale, left leg strides back. So you can always lower the knee and work from a low lunge. If you're coming into a high lunge, just walk that right foot towards right hand so the feet are hip width. Rising up when you're ready. A little bit of wiggle wobble. Woo. Lovely. So again, make sure the body isn't pitched forwards, dipping the back knee as you bring the hands onto the lower belly. Nice breath in here. That powerhouse. And exhale, feel the belly contract. Lovely. Hands around the rib cage, fingertips pointing in. Can you get those ribs to breathe into your hands now? So outwards expansion, and then rib cage contracts. Fingertips to collarbones, elbows dropping down. Last one, keep working the legs. Beautiful, strong in the legs, all 3 spaces now. Inhale, sweep the arms up, deep breath in. Chest, ribs and belly rising as you inhale. And softening as you exhale. Beautiful. Hands come down, frame the foot. Once more, we're going to take that little turn to the long edge of your mat. Heels in, toes out. So you can always walk your feet a little closer in together if you felt a bit unstable with the legs so far apart there as you find that lovely goddess. So once more, just making sure that hips are pressed forward, shoulders in line with hips. Hands coming to heart. Straighten the legs, arrow the arms up. Inhale, we're going to add on. Exhale starts the same. Big cactus. Lovely. Shoulder blades sliding down the back. Inhale, rise up. Hands to heart. Exhale, strong with the legs. Beautiful. Inhaling up. This time as you exhale, we bend the knees and bring the hands all the way down to rest on your knees or your thighs. So a little one for the upper back, a little twist here. So we're going to drop your right shoulder forwards. So you want to press it in towards the center line of the body, looking over that right shoulder as you gently press that right knee out to the side. So there's a little rotation there. Come all the way back through center. Left shoulder drops forwards. We look over left shoulder, pressing left knee away. Lovely. One more each way. Inhale to center. Right shoulder dips. Looking over that shoulder if that's comfortable on the neck. Lovely. Inhale through center. Exhale, left shoulder dips. Beautiful. So coming back to center. Straightening the legs, stretching the arms up, taking inhale. All 10 toes face forwards as you exhale, coming down into that forward fold. And just walk the hands forward slightly so your shoulders are above your wrists there. A little bit more rotation. So keeping the right hand underneath the face, looking towards that left hand as you inhale, left arm lifts up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, we'll wrap the hand around your low back. Or some of you might be able to tuck that left hand into your right waist. Keep pressing the floor away. Think about energizing the crown of the head forwards. So you've got a nice long body. Lovely, reaching that left arm up. And then the hand comes underneath the face. Other side, so taking the right arm up as you inhale. You can look up or keep the gaze down. Wrapping the hand around. Might find your low back. Some of you, whether with longer arms, more open the shoulders, might be able to snuggle it into your waist there. Keep pressing into the hand. Think about, again, taking the crown of the head forwards. Lovely, long back. And then we'll reach the right arm up. And bringing the hand down. Lovely. So this time we're going to walk over that right foot. So all 10 toes face forward. So we're coming back the way we came. If you go the opposite way, it's no great disaster. We'll step back into a downward dog, hips nice and high. Let's take the feet a little wider apart this time. So as you lower down onto all fours, we've got the knees slightly wider than hips. Point the big toes towards one another. Ease your way down into that hare pose or wide-kneed child pose. And just find a comfy position for your arms. You might want to reach them out, straight in front of you for your forehead. And touch the floor, but if your forehead is somewhere hanging horribly in space, then make a little pillow, resting one hand on top of the other, elbows nice and wide. And I really like that version, just offering my elbows out. I can really allow my chest to sink, my shoulders get a little stretch. Come back to your breath. Well, I feel all stretched, guys. That's got me going for the day. Beautiful. Couple more breaths there. Lovely. And then slowly, slowly, just lifting up through the chest so you can point both knees forwards and pop the bottom to one side. Let me just drop the camera a little bit so I can see you all on the mat now. Lovely. Beautiful. So stretch the legs out in front of you, and then we'll take the right leg out on the diagonal and bring the left heel in towards your groin there. So if you find that you're kind of sitting with a rounded back there, pop something underneath your bottom, be it a rolled up jumper or maybe a little cushion, so you can really drop your pelvis forwards and keep a nice length through the spine there. Lovely. So stretching the right heel away from you, toes up towards the ceiling. Take a nice inhale and sweep the arms up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, bring the fingertips down towards the floor. And see if you can take a little walk forwards with the hands there, without that right buttock lifting from the floor. So chest square forwards. We're not turning towards the right or the left. Body stretching forwards. Nice little stretch for the inner thigh there. Lovely. And then slowly, slowly walking the hands back towards you. Just the right arm lifts this time, taking inhale. And as you exhale, I'm going to reach that right arm over the extended legs. So some of you might be able to hook your big toe with your first two fingers. Some of you might just rest the back of your arm on your shin or your thigh. Lovely. So left arm, take a nice breath in as you reach the left arm up. And as you exhale, let's come into a lovely side bend. So this time we're trying to really ground through that left buttock. If it's too much with that left arm extended overhead, you can either cup your hand behind your head and point the elbow up towards the ceiling, or wrap that left hand around your low back, opening up through the chest. So wherever you are, get that lovely sense of elongation through the left side of the body. No pulling on the foot if you're holding on around your toes. Lovely. Slowly, slowly release. To bring the left hand down alongside your hip and zigzag the legs now. So we'll bend that right knee. If that's too much for hips, keep the leg extended. If you can, zigzag the legs so you've got that right shin curled back behind you. So whatever the leg is doing, we'll reach that right arm across the body on the diagonal. Take the gaze towards your left hand. Option to stay there or push the hips forwards. You can do this with the leg extended, rolling to the inside edge of that right foot. Lovely, so hips lifting. Beautiful, slowly, slowly sweep the arm in front of the face as you lower the hips. And stretch the legs out in front of you, beautiful. And so this time it's the left leg out on the diagonal, right heel in towards your bottom, in towards your groin there. So if you find that that right knee is up towards the ceiling, again, you can prop a little jumper or cushion underneath your knee to help you relax it down. Take a moment there just to get nice and square in your sit bones. And this time it's the left toes we're pulling up towards us. Lovely. So inhaling, we sweep the arms up. Ready for that little forward fold. So as you come forwards, chest comes squarely forwards. We're not edging to the left or the right. And the temptation is that we kind of do funny things with that left foot, or we lift the left buttock. So really try and root down through the sit bones. And I can feel that that side of me is far less happy, I would say, in folding forward. So I'm just going to walk my hands back a little more. Otherwise, I'm going to compromise that stretch by lifting my bottom. That's the remains of last Friday's instant when I fell in the sink. Oh, what I did in lockdown. I think I'm going to write the story. Let's come all the way back up. Accidents I had. Left arm, let's take a nice reach up. And as you exhale, let's come over the extended legs. Remember, some of you might be able to wrap your first two fingers around your big toe. Some of us might just be resting the arm on the leg there. Right arm, take it up as you breathe in. And overhead, so you've got the palm down, upper arm alongside the ear. I like to kind of take the gaze up and lift up through that top armpit, but you can look down towards your foot. Hand behind the head, elbow points up towards the ceiling. Or you can wrap the hand around the low back. But really, again, get the sense of the chest is pointing forwards, maybe up towards the ceiling a little bit, rather than pointing towards the floor. Lovely. Slowly, slowly. Let's come all the way back up, landing that right hand this time by the hip. So I'm going to zigzag again, the left leg this time, so folding that shin back behind me. You can keep the leg extended, that's absolutely fine. So this time it's the left arm. We reach across on the diagonal. Lovely lateral stretch for the body. Option to look down towards the right hand and lift the hips up. So you're looking back and lifting up. Remember, you can do that with the leg extended, just rolling onto the inside edge of the foot, if that works for your hips. Beautiful. And then slowly, slowly, we lower the hips. Hand sweeps in front of the face. And we'll extend both legs in front of you now. Little bend in the knee, maybe a kind of finding of your sit bones, moving nature's natural padding to one side. Little softness in the backs of the knees. Let's reach up. Last time, grow really tall. Try and keep that length as you fold your way down over the legs. So there might be a really deep knee bend required to accommodate hamstrings or back. Never striving to find your feet. So your hands might be either side of your shins or your thighs. Allow the body to yield forwards there. Easy with the breath. Coming back now to that sense of being with your body, being with your breath. Really, really slowly now, just lifting up through the chest. Bending your knees so your feet will be roughly where your knees were. And ease your way down onto your back. So I'm just going to shuffle down my mat a little bit so you can still see me. Beautiful. Let's keep the feet on the floor, knees pointing up towards the ceiling as we bring the arms out level with the shoulders. Again, shuffle the shoulder blades down the back, reach up long through the arms, and take a little tip of the knees to the right. A little twist. Maybe again, as we did at the beginning, you can just drop your chin in the opposite direction to your knees. Try and relax the buttocks, keeping the chest more or less square to the ceiling there. Easy with the breath now. And without any sense of rushing now, bring your knees slowly back to center. And then we'll take a little tick-tock over to the opposite side. So you might turn your head away from your knees there, rolling across the back of the head. The arms are relatively active there, so we're stretching the arms in opposite directions, trying to drop the weight evenly, or relatively speaking, across your shoulder blades there. Getting that nice rinsing out through the back of the body. Lovely. And then the knees come slowly back to center, head to center. We'll reach the arms just down alongside you now, palms down, coming into a little shoulder bridge to finish off. So heels snuggled in towards your sitting bones. Pressing into your feet as you slowly peel the spine up from the floor, pressing both knees forwards. So make sure you're not rolling to the outside edge of the foot by pressing into the base of the big toe there, keeping the knees parallel. Some of you might feel open enough across the shoulders to interlace the hands underneath you, tucking one shoulder blade and then the other. Lovely, lifting your chest towards your chin. Only if that feels nice on the shoulders. We'll squeeze the bottom, whole body working there. Again, that last sense of being embodied. Some of you might want to lift up onto the balls of the feet. So you can release the arms down alongside you. Feel free to keep your heels lifted if that feels okay as you wheel your way down. Lovely. And then stretch out one leg. Stretch out the other leg. And let's take both arms back above the head, back where we started. Oh, and that full body stretch. As you just take a couple of breaths there, maybe notice if you feel any different, or you feel a bit more open, maybe just for points in the practice, your mind was just distracted from the next few weeks, whatever anxieties or worries we might have brought to the mat this morning. Maybe that shifted even momentarily. Let's take one more nice deep breath into that full extent of you in that full body stretch. And then as you exhale, we'll bring the arms either down alongside you or maybe again a hand on the belly or chest. You can allow your toes to roll out to the side, or feel free to bend your knees and walk your heels back in towards you again, widening your feet and knocking your knees together if you've got any pain in hips or back. And if you've got time just to finish the practice with me, just for a few moments, we can allow the body the luxury of stillness. Beginning now just to slow your breath down. Breathing in through the nose. Slightly lengthening that inhalation now. Letting the breath go, letting it go. And again, you might begin to visualize or even feel the sensations of that breath as a wave. Belly rising on an inhalation and falling on an exhalation. Allowing your breath to enter And exit through the nostrils or mouth breathing if that's more comfortable for you. Let's take a few more full breaths there, encouraging your belly and your chest to rise a little more with each extended inhalation. And your exhalation should be soft and quiet, and equally as long as that inhalation. Just bring your awareness for a moment to the back of your body. Space around your lumbar spine, the lowest part of your spine. And as you take a few breaths here, bringing your awareness to the back of the body on each inhalation and exhalation, just noticing how does the back of your body move with the breath. Can you get a sense of that inhalation expanding, not just the front, but also the back of your body? And does your lumbar spine descend into the floor beneath you during an out breath? Allowing the back of the body to rest easily, a sense of heaviness, accepting the support of the floor beneath you. And releasing all sense of tension or holding. And once more, be here now. Be in this moment. Be in this body. Be with this breath. Be at ease. Be light. Be grateful. Be with an open heart. Be in this stillness. Be in this space within. Be in love with you. Be in love with this moment. Be here now. Be here now. And let's just take a few deep breaths together now, just quietly. Enjoying that peaceful end to the practice. Knowing that you can stay there for as long as you want, you can continue to take what you need from that final resting position, or you're ready to face the rest of the day, hopefully feeling a little bit more open, a little bit more stretched. Just gently begin to wiggle some movement back into your fingers, your toes. Trying again to be here now, staying in this moment, as you gently maybe just roll across the back of the head. And you might want to find your way back into this body as you reach the arms back, stretching the legs out, being in this breath as you take a couple of nice deep breaths there in that full body expansion. And then very slowly walk your heels back in towards you, lower the arms, and then bring your knees in towards your chest. Maybe have a little rock or roll side to side just to loosen off through the back, or a circle of the knees to ease into the hips. And then rolling onto one side, you might just want to just stay on your side for a breath or two before you make your way back to a comfortable seated position. Never has to be cross-legged. Lovely. Beautiful, guys. Take your time. So just as we did at the beginning, let's take one last glorious breath together, reaching the arms up as you inhale. And as you exhale and bring the hands to the heart, the chin to the chest, again, that sense of gratitude for the opportunity to practice together this morning, despite of all the difficult circumstances, still finding some time to join each other for a practice this morning. So for that, I thank you. I'm very grateful. And namaste. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
There we go. There we go.
Thank you, Helen.
Lovely.